Good day folks, just giving you a tomato update for April 2025 here where I live in the tropics. Most of my tomatoes were planted, the seed was sown in January and February of this year, and I have 4 beds and 2 potted areas. Today I just want to show you the tomatoes are starting to climb their string trellises. I just want to show you the way I string them on and fix them to the strings. Now, when I planted the tomatoes, I put a single reusable braided nylon cord up to a frame overhead, and when I put the seedling in, as soon as it's high enough, I attach a clip, or you don't have to use a clip, you can use any method to tie it to that main string there. And as you know, what happens as the tomato advances up the string, then they start their branching out. Now here's one I've already done. You can see when it was a seedling, I put a clip on it. It advanced up the string, and then today here it's split into 2 main stems. Today I clipped one of the stems, the one that was nearest the string, and then what I do is I use a disposable string that's a lot cheaper, and I put in an extra string from the same fitting. That extra string comes down and it's wrapped around the stem and tied in a very loose knot there. So effectively now you're supporting the one stem and supporting the other stem. Now the reason, as I mentioned before, this braided nylon is reusable for many years. It's UV stable and good in the weather. But this more disposable string, when you've got this many tomatoes, when time come at the end of the winter in the tropics to pull out the old plants and dispose of them, it's a mess. The tomatoes go right up here, and they're across the extra supports and hanging onto the fence there. So what I want is just to recover my main string and my clips, and then all these extra disposable strings I just leave hanging on the dead plant, and into the bin it goes. And it's a very easy way when you're doing disposing of a mass of plants at the end of the season. So today I've started at the beginning of the beds, and I'm working my way through both sides of the beds, and I'm up to here on this side, and I see that the seedling has its initial clip on there. The plant comes up, it branches into 2 just here. The one nearest the main cord will get a clip put on it, just there, and the other one will have a blue string, a disposable string, wrapped around it, going to the same hook to avoid confusion. So I'll clip this one. I've only got one hand for the camera, so I'll put it down. So that's now clipped, and I'll wrap the disposable string around the branch. I just tie a loop in the disposable string, follow the same up to get to the hook, put that on, run it down, measure out where to cut the string, about there somewhere, tie time to put the camera down again. So that's wrapped around that stem there loosely, and I'll tie it off in a loose knot on the stem there. So for now, our granny's throwing tomato plant, young plant, is fully supported. Now, by the end of its life, there's probably going to be 4 or 5 disposable strings on there. At the end of its life, I just need to pull the plant out, undo all the clips, tie this up back to here just to hang here, the reusable one, and all the disposable strings will just hang off the dead plant and into the bin. And while I'm out here stringing these, any lower leaves that are not looking too good, like that one, they're a harbour for disease, just pull them off. Usually just bend them down a bit and then up. If it's a big leaf that looks like it's doing its job with the sun and it has a bit of stuff on it, just remove the individual leaflet. My advice when removing leaves is always avoid using, try not to use these dirty things. You can sterilise them and do whatever. It's impractical. You can still attempt to do it though, because you're gonna carry pathogens over from one plant to another. I never used to believe it like in the early days, but I'm certain that it's not very good. For example, if I went around the neighbourhood and cut a finger off 10 to 20 people without washing them, I think that the last 10 people are probably going to get some sort of bad infection in their finger stump, if you get what I mean. I know, crazy example. Always just try and bend it down and pull it up, and it'll come off fairly easily. Even the more established ones, you can. Once you bend it down, pull it up. Don't keep pulling down, or you'll tear a strip off of the stem, which invites infection. This, by bending it down and pulling up, you'll go into a natural breaking point in the plant, which is where the leaflet joins the stem. Now, later on, for cutting big stems like this, yes, you are going to have to use them. All you can do is sterilise them somehow, alcohol or disinfectant or something, but it's still risky, but it's something we have to do. This season, I'm not pruning the branches. I'm just using the extra strings on them. Too bad if it's not the ideal way. I think they still produce fruit. The fruit is smaller, but you get a little bit of more amount of them even. I'm just sick of the risk of introducing disease in from one plant to another. So that, folks, is where we're up to at the moment. Just the first baby tomatoes are appearing, and I'm putting the fine mesh bags that I get from eBay on there. They just have 2 drawstrings, and you just pull them tight, and that protects the tomato from grubs or any other egg-laying insects. And while you're out here stringing and maintaining your plants, look for any sickly plants and remove them. I've been lucky. I've planted about 90 plants since late February, early March, and I've only lost 2. One I lost in here. I don't know what it was, but I straight away pulled it out and I've replaced it with a spare seedling. And today I've noticed that close to it, this one has had it as well. So she's wilting down and the leaves are yellowing, so I'll quickly get that out. Throw a bit of fresh dirt around the bottom in case the pathogens are in the soil around the root ball. A good thing to do when you do pull the plant out, I shake all the dirt off and try and give it an autopsy and try and see what's gone wrong. With the one the other day, I could see no indication of poor roots. They were strong. The stem looked good, so I don't know what it is, one of the various tomato diseases. So we'll quickly remove this one today, put it in the wheelie bin, and we'll put another little seedling in its spot. While these plants aren't very high and the light can still get into this area, I can replace it with a seedling. Once the tomatoes are up, getting right up too high and they're blocking the light down here, I just leave the space bare. And while we're on the subject of sick or diseased plants or insects or whatever, this season, after many seasons growing tomatoes, I'm finally taking the advice of some very wise growers, which is to have minimal input to your tomato plants and fruit after they are planted. This season I've taken on the approach, prepare the soil with cow manure, chicken manures, and I try to be organic, but I do use a slow release fertilizer, an 8-month one, and they're the three and gypsum. But I dig these things in well in advance, at minimum 3 months. After I put in the manures, the gypsum and the slow release fertilizer, I give it about 3 months for the beds to rest. Then I plant the plants, and that's it. This season I'm not going to use any insecticides, no extra fertilizer, no supplements whatsoever. I just want to see this season that by no extra input, if plants go wrong, I want to find out what made them go wrong and know that it wasn't me. Give them too much calcium supplement or too much sulfur powder for fungus or be it whatever. I'm not even going to use organic insecticides. I'm just going to remove disease or bug-eaten leaves and see if the plants can survive for themselves. So folks, thanks for watching. That's my tomato update on April 25. I hope to give you another video soon. Cheers.